Interviews are a very important step in the hiring process. After making a strong impression with your CV and cover letter, it's important to build on this in your interview. Being invited for an interview can be exciting, but also terrifying. Taking time to research the company and preparing your thoughts can help calm your nerves. In this segment, we will take a look at the essentials of interview preparation. So, what is an interview? Essentially, interviews are an opportunity to assess whether the applicant's skills align with the company's needs, but also it's an opportunity for the applicant to decide if the job and the employer is a good fit. An interview is an opportunity to fill in any gaps in information. Employers will want to verify and ask for clarity on points that you may have brought up in your CV or cover letter. Applicants can use the interview to gain a better understanding of what the job entails, potential for growth within the position, and whether the company culture is a good fit. You may be required to attend more than one interview and be interviewed by more than one person. Panel interviews with multiple interviewers are pretty common. Interviews allow employers to get to know candidates in ways that paper-based applications don't allow. Face-to-face interviews are an opportunity to showcase your communication skills, your confidence, general social behaviors like etiquette, body language, and even your ability to engage in interesting conversations. So most of your preparation will be around trying to anticipate likely questions, preparing well thought out, engaging answers, and then practicing. First up, research the company. You probably would have done this already when deciding to apply for the position and then preparing your cover letter, but take another look as you'll be coming at it from a different angle. Head to their company website or even their social media pages, and then look for their mission statement, values, the products and services they offer, as well as the locations they operate in. Next, familiarize yourself with their top management. Also, use their website and perhaps LinkedIn to take a look at the managers you will likely be working under, and probably they will be the ones interviewing you. You want to remember their names and their titles. Also, pay attention to any expansions, changes in product offerings, change of leadership, etc., that the company has undergone or has recently announced. While looking for all that information, keep the following in mind. You want to identify keywords like innovative, creative, daring, etc., used throughout their mission statement and values, and then find creative but subtle ways to incorporate these into your prepared answers. For example, when asked to describe yourself, perhaps you can include a short example of how you embody their values. Think of any questions you want to ask about the company. Perhaps you have a question or opinion on their recent decision to expand. Use this information that you're gathering to help you answer other questions, like why you want to work for this company. All the questions and interactions during the interview can ultimately be summarized as what about you makes you a good fit for this position and with this company? Be prepared to answer that directly and in the many other ways this question will be asked. For example, what special skills, experiences, personality traits do you have? And then how will these be useful to the position you're applying for? Do you see yourself growing within the company? Why do you want to work for this company? Anticipate any reservations or concerns the company might have about hiring you and be ready to convince them why or how you would overcome this. For example, if you're interviewing for an internship that would run during the semester, be prepared to explain how this opportunity would not clash with your academics and what steps you've taken to better manage your time. Next, a quick Google search will reveal lists and lists of commonly asked interview questions. So just find a list for recent graduates related to your industry, choose one or more, and then prepare your answers. You will not need to memorize your answers. Just think through the question so you don't have to be put on the spot during the actual interview. These lists usually include introductory questions. These are questions like, tell us about yourself. What do you know about our company? You will be asked questions about the position, like what interests you about this job? How does this position fit into your career plans? You will be asked interpersonal questions like whether you consider yourself a team player or if you've ever had to deal with conflict within a work environment. You can also expect questions on your strengths and weaknesses. An example of this would be, what is something you would like to do better, and what is your plan for improvement? Next, take another look at your CV and cover letter. Prepare any stories or examples that will help back up any claims you made in your CV. Be ready to clarify any gaps, community involvement, or any degree changes. Competency-based questions are used to find out whether you have displayed certain skills or behaviors before. They usually begin with, tell me about a time when. For example, tell me about a time when you have faced a challenging problem and explain the steps you took to overcome it. To prepare for these, you need to try and anticipate. To prepare for these, identify any potential skills and behaviors. To prepare for these questions, take a look at the job description again and try to identify any potential skills and behaviors that the interviewer will probably be interested in. Then identify at least one example or story which demonstrates this skill or behavior. At the end of the interview, there will be an opportunity to ask the interviewer questions. If you don't ask any questions, it might come across as a lack of interest. So prepare about 10 to 20 questions that reflect your genuine interest and enthusiasm. But don't worry, you won't get out to asking all of them. Be sure not to ask about anything that has already been addressed in the interview. Some good categories of questions to ask are: ask more about the job. What are the day-to-day responsibilities of the position? How will they measure the success of the person who ultimately gets the job? What are some of the challenges they expect this person to face? And then, thinking back to people in this role previously, what differentiated the ones who were good from the ones who were great at it? Ask what it's like to work for the company. Ask the interviewer how long they've been working there, what they like about working there, what challenges do they face. You want to avoid asking questions about the company that can be easily researched. You spend a lot of time researching the company in preparation for your interview, and you don't want to give them the impression that you have not researched the company at all. So stay away from asking questions like, what industry do they operate in? Or do they have overseas offices? Who are their competitors? And this is information that you should be able to find through a quick Google search. Questions on compensation, benefits, and other questions that could be considered what's in it for me are a bit risky. It may be better to wait until a job offer is made to ask the nitty-gritty about your working hours, company benefits. Some final thoughts. You want to prepare these questions so that you aren't left flabbergasted in the interview, but you also don't want your answers to seem rigid and over-rehearsed. So prepare your answers and then practice them in conversation. Talk aloud to yourself while looking in the mirror, or perhaps get a friend to help you out. Remember to start off your interview on a positive note. Try not to let your nerves get the best of you, so enter the room with enthusiasm and confidence. You could even start the interview off by saying how excited you are at the prospect of being able to contribute to the company's new developments. Use this as an opportunity to slip in some of that company research you did earlier. Be an active participant in the interview. Perhaps out of a desire to be polite, applicants are sometimes passive. But like any good conversation, it's two-sided with both parties actively engaging. Don't be afraid to ask questions or steer the conversation in a direction that highlights your best selling points. You want to be prepared for the interview, both mentally but also physically. So get your outfit ready, lay it out, make sure you know where the interview will be held, and plan your route or transport, and make sure you're on time. If you need to, you can do a trial run the day before, catch the bus or drive, so you get a feel for what the traffic is like, or what time the buses come, how long it'll actually take you to walk there. So while interviews can be terrifying, hard work and good preparation will help you get out ahead of those jitters.